It's DSP's Game of the Year Awards, the best games of 2011. Honorable mention, LA Noire. Rockstar Games usually puts out a good showing every year, and 2011's LA Noire was no exception. As we followed Detective Cole Phelps and his advancement from a mere patrolman through all the different investigative desks at his local police precinct, and finally to the epic conclusion of his story, we became engrossed in the very detailed environments of 1947 LA. The detailed character models, including facial recognition software that had never been used before in any game, led to unique investigative techniques and interrogations. A suspenseful and gripping murder mystery plot paired with open-world gameplay and some of the best voice acting work done to date in video games made LA Noire a unique package and one of the best games of 2011. So why didn't it make my top 10 best games? Well, to put it completely honestly, the investigation gameplay and the interrogations, which pretty much makes up about 80 to 90% of the gameplay of LA Noire, can become pretty repetitive and tedious once you get about halfway through the game. It's wash, rinse, and repeat. You're going to arrive at a crime scene, you're going to investigate the crime scene, look for clues, the clues will lead to a suspect who you'll have to catch or find, then interrogate, then you'll have to question whether or not they're telling the truth, and that's pretty much LA Noire's gameplay in a nutshell. If anything, it's the actual atmosphere, how realistic 1947 LA looks, and the plot line that kept people playing LA Noire for as long as they did. In fact, most media outlets, unlike a lot of other Rockstar games, criticized LA Noire pretty harshly for its repetitive nature, and that's why it really just didn't hit the mark to make my top 10 best games of the year. But now back to the countdown, and at number 8, we have Shadows of the Damned. Shadows of the Damned is one of the most unique games of the year for multiple reasons. It's a creative collaboration between Suda and Shinji Mikami, combining their two unique styles, namely the punk rock edge of Suda and the psychological, action thriller style games of Mikami and what he's known for. Combining the third-person over-the-shoulder gameplay of recent titles like Resident Evil 4 and 5 with a colorful puzzle-solving aspect, and then adding in crazy adolescent humor. I mean, there's so many tit and dick jokes in this, and sexual references. It's definitely an adults-only game, but it's also probably one of the most unique games that I played in 2011. It's storytelling at its best and a classic video game tale. Your girlfriend is kidnapped by some crazy evil demon, and you have to go all out to save her. And Shadows of the Damned actually takes you literally into hell to save your girlfriend, and it leads to some pretty cool survival horror aspects and some pretty creepy settings that never really get too scary simply because you're having so much fun with the humor and the irreverence of this game. Unfortunately, even though I do feel that Shadows of the Damned was one of the best games I played this year, it wasn't widely received as a great game. Some people did complain that it was a little bit too linear, others said that it wouldn't appeal to all audiences because of its adult humor, and I just really feel that this game wasn't given a chance, being that it was released in June of 2011 amid a massive flood of other major releases. Shadows of the Damned did actually get overshadowed, and not many people bought it. I would even go as far to say that Shadows of the Damned is probably the best game of 2011 that you probably didn't play. So if you're looking for a good recommendation, something unique and interesting, and it's still a good overall package, I would definitely recommend that you try out Shadows of the Damned, which is probably $5 on the bargain rack by now. Up next on the countdown, weren't we just talking about a game with off-the-wall irreverent humor? Well, guess what? Here comes another one. Check it out.